Christmas time's coming, Christmas time's coming, Christmas time's coming, and I know I'm going home. Can't you hear them bells ringing, ringing joy? I'll hear them singing when it's snowing. I'll be going back to my country home. Christmas time's coming, Christmas time's coming, Christmas time's coming, and I know I'm going home.
Welcome to our mountains. I'm Rhonda Brashear.
And I'm Dean Osborne. We sure hope you folks had a great Thanksgiving. This show is going to be dedicated to getting you in the Christmas spirit. We're with our good friends, the Allen family, otherwise known as Good Ground, and they're going to sing for us in just a little while.
Recently, Joel went over to Hindman, Kentucky to the Appalachian Artisan Center. Let's take a look at what he saw. In the meantime, we're going to keep on singing, though.
Christmas time's coming, Christmas time's coming, Christmas time's coming, and I know I'm going home. Christmas time's coming, Christmas time's coming, Christmas time's coming, and I know I'm going home.
And what we are here is I guess you could say like a depository for local artists to bring their art. We serve 49 counties in the Appalachian region, and at present we have about 315 artists that are juried in here to the center and that we sell for.
For over a decade, the Appalachian Artisan Center has served the artists of this region by providing an outlet to showcase and sell their work. And next door to the gallery, the Artisan Center offers studio space for artists to ply their craft.
We are doing a Phase 3 completion of that building, and once it's finished, the second story studios will be finished, and once all of it's done, then we will have studio space for almost 30 artists to come and work and sell their stuff out of.
The third building at the Appalachian Artisan Center houses a workshop that specializes in making something very significant to Hindman and Knott County.
We make musical instruments of every stripe, and we specialize in dulcimers. We also make guitars and fix them, and my students are building guitars, I'm building guitars, we're making dulcimers, and of course the importance of the dulcimer in Hindman is that, as you probably already know, Hindman is the birthplace of the Thomas style, or they sometimes call the Cumberland style dulcimer. The iconic one that most people would recognize has its roots right here in Knott County in the 19th century. So it's important that we teach people how to build those and, teach ourselves as we go.
This area has always had a strong sense of heritage and culture. We had a Dulcimer Festival last weekend. It's the first annual Hindman Dulcimer Homecoming. And when I started talking it up online, message boards and stuff, people were just real excited about it because the dulcimer world out there at large associates Hindman with the dulcimer. And we have folks from Michigan, Indiana, North Carolina, Pennsylvania, West Virginia. I don't know where all. Just last weekend, guys in Britain were dying to come over.
The Lutherie Shop is working hard to ensure that the traditions and techniques of the past continue for our future generations.
I'm currently working on a door harp. This kind of looks like what it's going to turn out like. When you hang them on the door and the door swings open, the ball swings back and plays a little chime.
If you'd like to visit the Appalachian Artisan Center, it's in downtown Hindman at 16 West Main Street.
Well, like I said, we serve the 49 county area. If you want to come from Johnson County or Leslie County or wherever, please feel free to come.
It's a good excuse to come to Hindman, to just drop in and hang out and see what's going on.
You can also give them a call at 606-785-9855.
Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Frontier Nursing University, celebrating 75 years as pioneers for healthcare. Our mission is to educate nurse midwives and nurse practitioners to serve women and families. Learn more about Frontier Nursing University. Visit frontier.edu.
Welcome back to our mountains. If you're watching our program and you've served our country in any branch of service, we'd like to say thank you very much. To all the veterans, we have a special song from Brack Allen Jr. Here's A Soldier's Memoir.
And I've been home about 6 months now. I still have my doubts. I'm not sure how I got here or how I'm gonna get out. My mama says I look the same as I did before I left. But if she could see inside of me, it would scare her to death. And I can still taste the powder from the barrel of my gun. And I can hear my sergeant screaming, "Run, soldier, run." And I can feel the backpack on my shoulder, got it weigh a ton. And I see death in every single thought. He taught me how to put that uniform on. I just can't get it off. Last Saturday they honored us in a small parade downtown. When they shot off those fireworks, I nearly hit the ground. While they smiled and cheered for us, all I could do was stare. 'Cause a part of me is here at home and a part of me's back there. I can still taste the powder from the barrel of my gun. And I can hear my sergeant screaming, "Run, soldier, run." And I can feel the backpack on my shoulder, got it weighed a ton. And I see death in every single thought. Taught me how to put that uniform on. I just can't get it off. Yeah, there's no end in sight. 'Cause even though I'm home now, I'm still fighting for my life. And I can still taste the powder from the barrel of my gun. I can hear my sergeant screaming, "Run, soldier, run." And I can feel the backpack on my shoulder, got it weighed a ton. And I see death in every single thought. They taught me how to put that uniform on. I just can't get it off. Now the devil's won some battles, and he may win some more, but don't he know the American soldier will always win the war?
Our Mountains is currently looking for area businesses and organizations interested in sponsoring our show. From large corporations to the shop around the corner, any business in Our Mountains will benefit from the exposure gained from advertising on our show, and we have plans to fit any budget. Call Rhonda at 606-521-6493 or send us an email to ourmountainseky@gmail.com for more information or to set up an appointment. Help us celebrate East Kentucky culture and support Our Mountains.
Welcome back to Our Mountains. You know, with all these cooking segments going on, I've been thinking about a spin-off show. I want to introduce to the folks the idea for Dino's Diner. While I work on that, here's a real cooking segment with Rhonda and her famous butterscotch pie.
Hello everyone. A few weeks ago I made a chocolate pie, iron skillet chocolate pie, and somebody told me I loved it, but my husband doesn't like cocoa, doesn't like chocolate. So I've got a solution for that. We're going to make another iron skillet pie, but it's going to be butterscotch. And I'll tell you, this might even be better than the chocolate. So we're going to do the same thing we did the other day. We're going to put 2 tablespoons of butter in an iron skillet, medium-high heat. Let it start melting. As you can see here, and I use real butter. Just makes it richer and tastes much better. To this melted butter, I'm going to add 1 cup of light brown sugar. Toss to coat and let it start melting. Now you don't want to let this scorch, so if it starts acting like it's going to get too hot, turn your heat down just for a minute. The cocoa is a thickening agent along with flour, so the sugar is not. So we're going to have to add a little bit more flour than we did to the cocoa. So about 4 tablespoons, and I'm just roughly going to eyeball this and stir that in. Pinch of salt. And let it start melting. While that's melting, I'm going to take 1 cup of milk, 2 egg yolks. And I'll save my egg whites for another day. Large eggs. And whisk that up just for a second. Make sure all your flour is stirred in evenly. Smells good, smells like butterscotch. Smells like fall. And then I'm going to pour in my egg and milk mixture. Ooh, sizzly. It won't take long. This thickens up really fast when you got enough flour in it. And you stir that until it's thick. I'm going to add just a little bit of vanilla. Stir it up, and we're going to put it in a pie shell that I've already baked. And I always buy the refrigerated pie shells. It's much easier than making them yourself, but if you want to make it, that's fine. I just think it's easier to make my pie filling and put it in a shell that's already made. You can see here it's already thickening up. Stir constantly to keep it from sticking. You don't want it to scorch. And as it cooks, the lumps will disappear, your sugar will melt, and it will be just perfect. So, hope that's good for everybody who doesn't like chocolate. When it gets really, really thick, it's ready to come off. Pour it in the pie shell. Get every last drop of that good butterscotch flavor. If you want to see the recipe, look on our Facebook page, Our Mountains EKY.
Thanks, Rhonda. And to that viewer whose husband didn't like chocolate, I hope this works out. When we come back, some more great music on Our Mountains. Don't go away.
Frontier Nursing University, celebrating 75 years as pioneers for healthcare. Our mission is to educate nurse midwives and nurse practitioners to serve women and families. Learn more about Frontier Nursing University. Visit frontier.edu.
Welcome back to Our Mountains. This next song is really going to put you in the Christmas spirit. It's Dean Osborne and Good Ground. Children, go where I send thee.
Children, go where I send thee. How will I send thee? Oh, I'm gonna send thee one by one, 'cause the one was a little bitty baby born in Bethlehem. Children, go where I send thee. How will I send thee? Oh, I'm gonna send thee two by two, 'cause the two was a falling Silas. One was a little bitty baby born in Bethlehem. Children, go where I send thee. How will I send thee? Oh, I'm gonna send thee three by three, 'cause the three was the Hebrew children. Two was a fallen Silas. One was a little bitty baby born in Bethlehem. Children, go where I send thee. How will I send thee? Oh, I'm gonna send thee four by four, 'cause the four was the four that stood at the door. Three was the Hebrew children. Two was the Paul and Silas. One was a little bitty baby born in Bethlehem. Children, go where I send thee. How will I send thee? Oh, I'm gonna send thee 10 by 10, 'cause 10 was the 10 commandments. 9 was the 9 that stood in the line. 8 was the 8 that waited at the gate. 7 was the 7 that never got to heaven. 6 was the 6 that didn't get fixed. 5 was the 5 that come back alive. 4 was the 4 that stood at the door. 3 was the Hebrew children. 2 was the Paul and Silas.
1 was a little bitty baby
Born in Bethlehem. In Bethlehem, children born in Bethlehem.
Our Mountains is sponsored by Frontier Nursing University, Pioneers for Healthcare. The Kentucky Bankers Association. More than banks, they're your neighbors.
Folks, welcome back to Our Mountains. I have a very special guest with us right now. 34 years ago, two very cool things happened. One, I was born. And two, the man next to me went into office. Congressman Hal Rogers. Congressman, thank you for joining us on Our Mountains.
Thank you.
Like I said, 34 years ago, you went into office, so I'm sure you've seen a lot of wonderful things happen here in East Kentucky in those years. What's the couple that come to mind when you think about that?
Well, the first one that comes to mind is flood control. When I took office, the towns along the Cumberland River especially flooded every year almost. Poor Pineville, was underwater half the year, every year it seemed. And Harlan, and Barberville, Williamsburg, Cumberland, the entire Cumberland River flooded almost every year. So my first job I tackled was to get the Corps of Engineers to help us build flood walls and levees and cut-throughs and diversion channels and what have you, tunnels, to try to stop the flooding. And I can tell you today that those towns don't flood anymore. We've got a huge tunnel complex in Harlan, city of Harlan.
Mm-hmm.
We're still working on the problem up in Cumberland, but we got flood walls around Pineville and Williamsburg, Barberville, cut through around Barberville to divert the river at flood stage and the like. And then we began to have a problem with trash and litter and junk and stuff.
Sure.
And we started the organization called PRIDE. Stands for Personal Responsibility in a Desirable Environment. You know, we got pride clubs in schools. We've got kids out helping pick up trash. We've picked up almost 1 million tires.
Wow.
And about 160,000 old appliances thrown over the hillside, you know, stoves and bathtubs and everything else in the world. We've cleaned most of that up. We've cleaned out 3,000 dumps big over-the-hillside dumps. Some of them enormous. So I'm really proud of the people that's worked on the Pride campaign. And then, of course, we've got this terrible drug problem like everyone else.
Absolutely.
First started out with OxyContin. We were losing kids every week. So we started the thing called UNITE. Unlawful narcotics, investigations, treatment, education. So law enforcement-wise, we've jailed about 4,000 pushers. We've got treatment centers. We've got a voucher system for people who are addicted that can't afford treatment. We'll pay for it one time. And all sorts of other activities of Pride, of UNITE. We've got UNITE clubs in our schools to help kids stay away from drugs. Education program. We have sponsored now a national effort to prevent prescription drug abuse, which is the biggest problem. People's cabinets full of drugs that kids get into. Now you can take those drugs out of your cabinet, take them to the sheriff or the police office, and we'll take care of them for you, get rid of them. So it's a great program that I'm extremely proud of. The latest thing, with the tremendous loss of coal jobs in East Kentucky, Governor Beshear and I decided to try to tackle it head on. So we called a summit of people all through eastern Kentucky to come to Pikeville last December. And it was a cold, blustery, hazardous day, but people still came. We had around almost 2,000 people that came and spent the entire day. Leaders of all of our counties, and they had terrific ideas, and they shared them with us. And so we now have tried to take that list of ideas and sort through them and pick out some good ones that we can all work on. And this fall, we hope that they will give us their recommendations on the actual projects that we'll work on to try to diversify the economy, to try to find other things that we can do in addition to coal. We'll always have coal, but with fewer jobs. So tourism, broadband, collaboration across county lines, health issues, all those things, agriculture, all those things are going to be dealt with and studied intensely to find out what we can do to use those things to better our way of life here.
You've mentioned education a few times. How important is that to you?
It's altogether important. We can't attract the jobs unless we've got an educated workforce. And jobs is the goal. That's to try to keep our people here, having to not have to move off to Pittsburgh or Cincinnati or what have you. We got to have the jobs. But to get the jobs, you've got to have an educated workforce. In today's world, it's altogether important.
Absolutely. Well, Congressman, before I let you go, I want to ask you, I know you love bluegrass music, Appalachian music, and a couple years ago, I was there when Dean Osborne gave you a banjo.
Yeah.
Have you learned any songs yet?
I've learned the roll.
Okay.
I've learned the Lester flat roll, but I've not got to a song yet. Banjo's hard. I mean, I'm told it's the hardest. Willie Nelson told me one time, the banjo is the second hardest instrument to learn how to play.
Really?
Yeah.
What was the first?
I asked him the same thing. Steel guitar. Anyway, I've got that banjo, beautiful banjo, up in my little outhouse, not outhouse, my playhouse, where I've got a pool table at home.
If Dean gave me something, I'd put it in the outhouse.
And so I've got my banjo up there where I can play without bothering the neighbors, so I'm learning.
Well, I can't play a radio. My mom has all the musical talent in the family. Congressman, thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you.
Folks, we got tons more Our Mountains coming up right after this.
Our Mountains is currently looking for area businesses and organizations interested in sponsoring our show. From large corporations to the shop around the corner, any business in Our Mountains will benefit from the exposure gained from advertising on our show, and we have plans to fit any budget. Call Rhonda at 606-521-6493 or send us an email to ourmountainseky@gmail.com for more information or to set up an appointment. Help us celebrate East Kentucky culture and support Our Mountains.
People ask me from time to time, where do you get this stuff? Well, actually, I don't ever have to make anything up. Actually, sometimes I think I do, because my husband said to me once that he didn't think I ever let truth get in the way of a good story. And that's what he tells people. But all I have to do is go to the post office, and I find humor every time. I was at a small post office here in the county several years ago. Leslie County Middle School hadn't been in operation very long. And I was waiting for stamps, minding my own business, waiting for stamps at the post office. And I stepped up behind this lady who was already there. And she was in the middle of this story, and she was in a snit. She was just absolutely livid because she had a child at the middle school. And the night before, at like 2 a.m. in the morning, there had been some phenomenon in the night sky that would not occur, and I don't know if it was a comet, I don't know if it was a meteor shower, I don't know what it was, but it was a phenomenon in the night sky. It would not appear again for many, many, many years, probably not in their lifetime. And the teacher, one of the teachers at the middle school, had remarked that if they wanted to see this, then they needed 2 o'clock, 2 a.m. That would be the best time to see this. And she was just livid. She said, well, I'll just tell you what. If they're going to schedule these things, they need to do it before these children go to bed. Well, the postmaster just almost could not continue the transaction of whatever it was. And I'm standing behind her thinking, okay, if that were indeed a valid complaint, who would you take that up with? God? I'm thinking this is his territory. So you might want to say, could you do that at 1 in the afternoon? It would be so much more convenient for my children.
Well, that's it for another show, and I want to thank you for watching our mountains.
And speaking of being thankful, it's the Thanksgiving season. I thought it would be nice for us to share something that we're thankful for with the folks at home. I'll start us off. I'm thankful we get to do our mountains each and every week. You know, we get to go out to all these neat places and share these stories with the folks at home.
Yes, and I'm thankful for my co-hosts, for Dean and Joel, and all their hard work and their talents.
I'm thankful that sometime I might get to do a cooking segment in the coming year.
Maybe.
No. We are thankful for all the folks that tune us in each week. Thank you all for taking time to visit with us. And we're also thankful for the guests and musicians that have shared their talent with us.
Absolutely.
And look forward to doing so in the next year.
That's right. And if you know of someone who you'd like to see on our show, or you'd like a story that you'd like for us to look into, give us a call or send us an email on your information on your screen. So that does it for this week. Happy Thanksgiving, and tune in next week.
See you, folks.
God bless.